Our next inductee is Jeremy Lin, Palo Alto High School and Harvard University. This young man went to Pali rather anonymously at first, but as he grew, as he became adept, basketball was clearly in his future. And when he was a senior, he and his teammates and coaches produced one of the greatest upsets, I think, in California's state championship history. They faced off with Mater Dei of Anaheim in Sacramento for the CIF, I believe it was Division II championship. Mater Dei is a sports factory. Mater Dei is like a small college. It's the largest co-ed Catholic high school west of St. Louis. They produce outstanding men and women athletes like nothing. It's incredible. Palo Alto took them on. They were heavy underdogs. And Palo Alto beat them. And Jeremy Lin was the motor that drove the Vikings that day. It was a spectacular performance. They sliced them up. Mater Dei had two guys who were, pushing 7 feet. Lin just sliced and diced. It was something to watch. And of course, he wasn't heavily recruited. He wanted to go to Stanford right across the street. They wanted him, but they didn't want to give him a scholarship. They wanted him to walk on. He qualified to go there quite nicely. But they didn't offer him a scholarship. He was admitted to Harvard. Not a bad second choice, by the way. Whoa, Harvard. And he played basketball there, became an outstanding player, wound up in the NBA. Now, he suffered an injury too, so he's been on the shelf for a while. But he has he got a tremendous contract from, I think it was Dallas a couple of years ago. In any event, Jeremy Lin is another young man, a lot like Julian Edelman, I think, who proved the doubters wrong. Who's going to accept the plaque for Jeremy?
His father.
Oh, Jeremy's dad is here. Okay, please come up. Oh, Peter Diepenbrock is with him as well. Peter was Jeremy's high school coach.
Jeremy's father's a little shy, so I'm going to say a couple words. It is funny how so many people here are intertwined and so many relationships go lots of different ways. I remember noticing in Jeremy, when he was a freshman, he played JV basketball, and just had a chance, by chance was looking at his scorebook and saw that he went head to head with Julian Edelman his freshman year. So I thought that was interesting. Who would know two former pro athletes on the court there in 2002? But so yeah, obviously Jeremy's story, everybody knows his story very well. I just thought I'd add a couple of little tidbits that kind of describe who he is and how he became to be the athlete and the success that he is. I'll never forget his freshman year. Just got to the school, and kids were just kind of gathering in the gym, and people were talking about. I was only in my 4th or 5th year at the time, and they were talking about Palo Alto High School and what they were doing there. And I remember saying something like, well, the basketball program here has done pretty well too. I mean, is that did you you're aware of that, and is that something you're aware of? And Jeremy looks at me and he's like, I didn't come here for the science department. I just thought that was such a I've always referred back to that because I do think that says a lot about him. Obviously, a very academic and bright young man that did very well at Harvard, but Jeremy has always been about basketball and competing in basketball, and that's something that just kind of who he is and everything that he's done since his freshman year and high school. Obviously, was a great success. His 3 years at Palo Alto High School varsity, his teams were 86-8 over 3 years. Won three section championships and obviously a state championship. But the things that really jump out to me about Jeremy were his junior year. He actually had a significantly better team than his senior year. Had a bunch of really good seniors. They won 30 games by an average of 26 points a game and just dominated. And the night before we were playing Midi in the section championship, Jeremy, always working on his game, was playing at the YMCA and went up for a layup and got pushed into the wall and broke his foot. And so he calls me at 11 o'clock that night, and he's like, my foot's broken. I'm not going to be able to play in the section championship. And the team was so talented that they were able to win that game and win a couple of NorCal basketball games and get to the NorCal championship game, and lost to a very good Oak Ridge team. And then when we came back for his senior year, we lost all these seniors, and we only had about 6 juniors coming back that were going to be seniors, but we lost a lot of talent. And I'll never forget a player, one of the best players in the area from a local rival school, was going to transfer to Palo Alto High School. And it was big news because we were going to have some depth and a starter as a center. And I never forget talking to Jeremy about it over the summer, and Jeremy goes, he's a nice player, but I really don't want him to come because then, one of the guys that's here won't be able to start, or won't get as much minutes. And I was like, are you kidding me? But to me, that just says a lot about Jeremy and who he is, and importance of relationships and loyalty, and that just says a lot about him. The last thing I want to say as the music gets going here is the thing that really separates Jeremy and has really made him into the player that he is his ability to rise to whatever situation he's in. The last 2 years, Palo Alto played in the NorCal championship game and couldn't quite get it done. And I truly believe it's because we didn't have a player like Jeremy that was just ready for the moment, ready to rise to whatever the situation called for. And I think that's the thing that really separates him. Yes, he's a great athlete and has a lot of ability, but his ability to rise to whatever the situation is at that time has really separated him from all the other athletes I've coached. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.